Education has evolved ever since it's been around, and community pressures on institutions to evolve with that has been increasing, the same with every other industry. As an institution, we have a societal requirement to work with both our local communities and the wider Australian community to try and build a better future. Education has to lead, not just follow that.
We need to skill up faster than we ever have before. Technology, and it's not the only skill, but it's one of the main skills that are affecting the way we work. That is changing at such a rapid rate that the old way of education, that where we learn something and then we can use it for years and years and years, doesn't apply anymore. So we're going to have to keep dipping into education to keep our skills relevant so that we're still employable, so that we still have the skills needed for our jobs.
In a time where we're more online, we're consuming things in an on-demand way, we are in real time. These are all factors into how we've actually changed our consumption, and education is no exception to that.
We're needing to deliver education content in different places at different times to support the new ways of working.
Transformation is a fundamental tenet, I think, if you're wanting to stay competitive, if you're wanting to stay relevant, if you're wanting to have students come to your university because they're excited about the way that you're actually keeping pace with what they're going to have to deal with when they graduate. Transformation at UTS has been happening for quite a while. So the first part was what we called learning transformation, LX, and that was working with academics on how they work within a more digitised learning management system. Simple things like creating a database of various bodily noises, like, for example, how people wheeze, and being able to classify that from a nursing perspective. Another colleague is wanting to use augmented reality to explain specific problems in population health. That's also happening in urban design and in urban planning. So there's lots of really interesting things that academics are now starting to look at, leveraging technology.
Changes in ways that we consume things has really driven the need to offer variety and choice to people. People no longer come in the traditional degree award path method. People have lives. So we're responding to the customer in a way that we're giving them choice, flexibility. They can do it when they want, how they want, delivered in a way that suits their lifestyle.
These are new product types, whether they be short forms, short courses, tasters and teasers, through to micro-credentials, which hones in on a particular set of skills or capabilities.
We've built an incredibly strong foundation, both with the on-campus and the new digital properties that we have. Now that's required us to unify across all the infrastructure and unify across the teaching spaces as well and the learning spaces. Now we don't have the benefits of greenfields or a startup. We are a traditional organisation in a lot of ways. So we've made sure we've got a good middleware layer to connect to. What we're also doing is looking at the strengths of our current platforms, but also working with the strengths of the new platform, would be Episerver or Salesforce, and taking incremental steps towards getting there.
Episerver is not a server, it's a platform. It's a range of best-in-class tools that allows you to bring in commerce, content, and platform in one sort of easy-to-use and adaptable and scalable framework.
I think what's really important in moving to this new form of learning is that we have to not forget what's worked in the past. So the classroom environment has always been really important, and it's been really important because we don't only learn from teachers, but we learn from our peers. And so what we have to do as we move to these new forms of what I like to call hybrid learning or responsive learning is that we need to take with us all the stuff that's been really good in the past and then overlay what we need for the future. So we need to design in looking at online, for example. How do we make online learning include all of those things? How do we make sure it's still collaborative? that we've still got people working in teams with other people. We still are helping them to develop their communication skills. We're getting them interested, they're being interactive.
The university sector is, I think, very well positioned to capitalise on the technology changes that are coming through, right from data, being able to get better segmentation information, preference information, understanding our students and the experience in a really pointy, sharp way, and understanding what trigger points are valid, like where do we actually need to transform versus where things are actually working well. So I think, technology really helps us give a better picture of that student experience.
What this data is really allowing us to do is help us refine our product, our messaging and our time to market, and really deliver content that is bespoke and honed in on the customer.
Now, the pandemic has just accelerated all of that. So in a heartbeat, we had to move online.
The pressures placed upon the institution, as well as placed globally on the community, were substantial. We were fortunate enough to have been carrying out a major transformation on campus of our learning platforms for the 2 years prior to that point, as well as building these new digital delivery channels on top of the Episerver and Salesforce layers. Now, through that, we could take everything we've built, because we were building a unified architecture, and move some of it into the new domain that wasn't actually built for this, and we could utilise it for delivering some of the on-campus solutions. So it gave us the flexibility in a crisis that was never planned for, not we could ever plan for it, that was never planned for, that would give us the ability to deliver through new channels rapidly and to be able to respond.
Being able to handle that change in, the need to do more with less. So, obviously the education sector has been hurt by COVID. The end result has always come back down to that managing change and making sure that we know we have process to follow, that we're able to execute those processes. I think, we've been able to provide leadership, architecture, and innovation. We're very proud of bringing the first micro-credential product as a digital concept and actually tune them to different market types, B2B, B2C, B2B2C, in that enterprise space, has really been what we're really very proud of.
Education is on that knife's edge right now. We're seeing very well funded, really huge organisations coming out of the US that are trying to disrupt the education space. They're looking at short forms of learning, lifelong learning, how people can dip in, find the education that's pertinent to them, do it in a heartbeat, move on to the next thing. They're all the things that are threatening the traditional education sector at the moment. And if we don't respond to all of those things, to the move to online, to the lifelong learning, the shorter forms of learning that we need, we run the risk of being dinosaurs.
If we didn't start to transform when we did, we wouldn't be able to continue to meet the community requirements. And I can't emphasise it enough. Public institutions have a requirement to deliver what the community expectations are. We have people out there working hard in their jobs who want to progress and who want to do great things for the people they work for. Unless we're there to assist them, and that means providing new ways of delivery, new content, we will either become redundant or we will be a second-class environment, and that is not where we want to occupy.